Yeah, we are certainly Order of the Vibes, but if you ever care for a particular name for your little team here that we've been playing with, you can certainly offer that up. Be more than happy to have a special name for your little Talon team here. Cool. So with that, we will get the ball rolling here in the town of Leylon. Anybody got anything before we jump in? Everybody working, available, online? That's
We
the
in
one.
this.
Say again, Doze.
We in this.
We in this hoe. Team pressed shirts. The old pressed T-shirt with with Holly Army scratched out in fucking permanent marker.
It's like the police cars with like the decals.
Yeah, you can tell where they were, but they're fucking
It still says like law enforcement.
right. The like sun fucking bleaching around it and stuff like that. Oh, that is our inconspicuous Mara, the most inconspicuous. And I think we'll get to it, but of course, who is going to know? Maybe all the people that you talk about how this kind of thing doesn't happen in the Empire.
I'm softening them up for the eventual invasion.
Mara is definitely known to soften them up. That's for damn sure.
My fist.
Yeah, usually not with her words. But we'll, of course, get into our downtime activity that we had in between sessions and things like that in short order.
Real quick, before we get started,
please.
I'm trying to listen in on your, you said what Agent or the listen along on Spotify, but it just has Whiterun music going the entire time, or does it go to different songs or? Okay, no.
It should. It just went. Okay. It's on Ancient Stones.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah, it should follow along. Yours may pause itself, like it may just stop.
It did. That's why I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, in that situation, you typically have to hit play. That's why, like, doing it so bootleg with the Discord live stream, screen share, is somehow more fucking consistent than using the natively built things that are supposed to connect these two for exactly this fucking purpose. So, great job, guys. Everybody did well. Inshitification continues. Okay, cool. With that out of my system, anybody else got any questions or anything as we get settled in here?
No, I'm good.
Fantastic. So, welcome back, gang. We find ourselves in the far southern reaches of the Menagerie Coast, a scrappy frontier town full of half-decrepit buildings where a small collection of settlers try and reestablish a bustling mining town that has been racked with the destructive magical energies said to have originated in the powerful, from the tower of the powerful mage Thalavar. The small collection of settlers and their families hoping to stake an early claim on what could become a prosperous mining town if they could just put a stop to the regular catastrophic attacks that drove the original townsfolk out and have kept others from settling the area. Among those settlers, however, are some newcomers who seem to appear just in the nick of time for the good townsfolk of Leylon. Arriving at their end destination of Leylon after a number of days' travel, the party arrived in... Oop, I used arrived twice there. That's bad writing. In the midst of an attack on the town with most of the villagers flushed out and evacuated as the local frontier guard tried to fend off the cultists and their dark elemental magic. Defeating a series of cultists and their evil Kraken priest, saving a pair of children liable to become human sacrifices, and destroying the elemental monsters, the team were able to secure the town and then assist the locals in recovering some of the children who fled and hid in fear like cats who clambered up trees and became too scared to get down. In the intervening days and weeks since, the party has been working on establishing relationships with the local leadership, forging an alliance with the local folks to pave the way for the merchant guild that serves as a cutout for the Empire's economic interests here. You each take on take on various endeavors around town, often harried from one block to the next by small children who come running when they see you, eager to show you a new drawing they did of you on that day, or how they can swing a stick, or insisting that they show you how they can now climb up and down the top branches of trees all by themselves. Constantly underfoot, always in the way, an annoying series of road bumps as you try and focus on your mission. So, with that, as you guys go about your various little missions in the downtime here, we're going to do just a couple rolls and see how successful we are in our various endeavors. So what we'll do here is basically 3 rolls. Each person's got something sort of assigned to them here based on the activities they pursued. There's no like strict gates or mechanical like you've unlocked X or Y. It's just broadly to see how you guys have fared here and what that might mean later on. So with that, Zuni's out. We'll start with you, Mara, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but my understanding is that Mara has been sowing rumors to try and drive a pro-imperial sentiment around town.
If you can believe it, that's exactly what I'm doing.
You know I can.
Soft power strategy.
That's it. That's what it's all about right now. And a little bit of covert operations. So I have here thinking that you would be using persuasion, perhaps. But if there's something else that you think you might use, you say the word.
Intimidation. No, persuasion works.
Persuasion works. All right. Yep. Let's start with 1.
Ooh.
Okay. Solid. Yeah, you're definitely able to. You're off to like a strong start initially. As you kind of are sort of just chatting folks here and there, trying to drive them towards certain ideals. But as we know, Mara can be a little bit intense, especially when it comes to things she's passionate about. And surprisingly, this young lady come to town is pretty passionate about this stuff. So the effectiveness drops off a little bit there in the middle. But how do we finish out? Let's find out. One more.
Bart.
Her
not great, not terrible.
Is coming to the surface, and you're watching her social battery drain as this conversation goes on.
Yeah, you at times will be like out there pressing the flesh, as they call it, with the good folks here, and you're getting a little run down on that side. And meanwhile, you just see like Wuberto drilling folks in the yard and like making them run around town. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? Anything else with those series of rolls and everything from Mara? What do you think you get up to, and how do you think Mara's feeling in Leylon here through the course of this downtime?
She has had just like a low grade headache since this has all started because she's not smashing things. She's taken a real diplomatic approach to the townspeople, which is deeply unlike her. She wishes that she was lifting Uberto instead of in this bar. But at the end of her persuasion, or rather her conversation, she kind of just leaves unceremoniously because she's just kind of tapped out and done. So she does not wrap up the conversation.
Who could blame her? Yeah, it's a lot. You're definitely a little bit of a fish out of water. You're used to doing one thing and one thing only, and you got to do that thing when you stepped foot in this town. And ever since then, it's been like a little bit of a drag for Mara, I think. So that social battery is draining as you sort of set out with this task, and you're like, God, of all the things to pick, like, why did I pick the one fucking talking to all these dildos all the time? These fucking kids are chasing me, and they always want to show me how strong they fucking are, and they're not. But goddamn, like, I just can't catch a break here. So that's all right, though. That's okay. Mara has a little bit of a tough time settling in here, and it is moderately successful with her rumor sowing around town. Fantastic. So with that, as you kind of glance out the sort of like window of this bar that you're talking to folks in, you see none other, in fact, than Wuberto, just kind of fucking driving these local guards and a few of the citizens in this fucking like weighted jog where they're just all going constantly, and you've seen them pass by so many times now. Wuberto, that kind of takes us over to you as we kind of start following you. As I understood it, you have been helping train up the local guards and villagers to better help respond when they're attacked. So doing some martial training, fitness stuff, general like tactics and response protocols and things like that. Is that still the case?
That is the case.
Anything else you're getting up to is all that, or anything in particular as you're making these folks sweat?
Nope, I'm just drilling them, telling them like, hey guys, you saw what happened. You want more kids to get kidnapped? We may not be here forever. You guys gotta get into shape. You gotta get strong.
That is right. And,
wrong, baby.
strong, bad in the mix. Yeah, who better to get strong with than old Wuberto? Fantastic. So I've selected athletics here as what I would expect you to go for as you kind of do this, and even encompassing like some of the martial drills. Like a lot of that stuff is just like drilling these constant, routes and routines, and like, where do you go, what do you do, what do you, who do you link up with, where do you guys go from there, just all these different things. So go ahead and give me your first athletics roll.
All right, here we go.
Strong start. Not too shabby over there. Fantastic. What's your next one looking like?
All right.
Ooh. Oh, baby. And
one more?
final one. Yep.
Literally inject steroids into all of it.
Yeah, straight up.
Literally just fucking Rocky montage, dude, and just punching big pieces of meat, dude.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. What else can you do? Like, what more?
Do you mind throwing on Guile's theme from Street Fighter real quick? Yeah.
I can certainly try. Give me a sec.
I think it's Guile's theme.
Push it to the limit.
There you go.
There you go.
Walk us through what it looks like here as you are just drilling.
First, we're doing 25 laps around the town square. All right, from the entrance to the town to the other entrance to the town, down and back, 25 times. Have you heard of the pacer test? This is the pacer test. All right. Then we're gonna go. We're gonna get Mara. We're gonna have them lift Mara 25 times. All right. If they can't do that, then we're gonna have them lift Doza 25 times.
That's because you step down and wait.
And then what else? Maybe 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 3 sets of that, and that should be a pretty good day's worth. We'll come back to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
This absolutely happened in the Empire, actually.
This part is the only part that would happen in the Empire. Oh my god, killer. I love it, absolutely. And you are quite successful in your endeavors here, and in those sort of weeks in between, kind of when we last left off, it definitely sees you like, seeing that classic montage improvement, right? Of just going from dog shit, fat sacks of sweat to eventually like a pretty well coordinated, consistent group. They are able to kind of keep their own pace at this point. You're not like whipping at their ankles and stuff the whole time. Their like actual martial drills are starting to clean up in terms of like attack and defense with the swords. Like a lot of these like frontier guards are kind of low ranking, right? They're like they're not of much value to the Clovis Concord here, not the Concord. Yeah, I forget. I'll get there surely in my notes somewhere. So, but yes. Anyway, they have certainly been getting whipped into shape here by you, Wuberto, and all the while, Mara, you are just chatting to these folks as they're getting bench pressed.
Baby.
Yeah. So with that, I think that will bring us over to Whisper Chaos. Finding himself always sort of among these folks in these fitness routines, but never actually having to exert yourself, right? You always kind of shift your way out here.
Gym class, dude.
Yeah. There you go. You're there for like the congregation, all the like, oh boy, that sucked, but like, look at it now, we're all bonded by it, and then, but meanwhile, you're like slipping out as like with like a completely different face on, in the meantime. There you go. Yeah, boy, that fucking Wuberto's been working me like a dog, but the results speak for themselves. Fantastic. As you are kind of dipping through all the kind of various social groups here, it is a small town, but you're able to kind of find your way into various cliques and, things like that where people may sort of speak a little bit differently from one thing or the other. But it's my understanding that you had intended on doing a little bit of floating around in different disguises to try and find intel on the cults and the cults. Exactly, it is sort of the same side. It's the other side of the same coin, right? As she's kind of pressing that you are and pushing information out, misinformation, disinformation. Who is to say? But information nonetheless. You are kind of more ingesting that information. So I had for you, Whisper, deception or persuasion, depending on how you think you were approaching this, right? Like, obviously you're not always presenting outwardly who you are, but who fucking is Whisper at this point when you can change shape so consistently? So other than taking on new faces and personalities and things like that, I don't know if you're outright like lying to these people or just trying to persuade them to give them some more information. So I'll leave it up to you which one you actually roll. But let's see how. I think so. I think that sounds very good. Go ahead and let's see. Oh, goodness gracious. That's something. So, I guess we're just going to skip to the end of this book. I'll tell you guys all the secrets that we had on tap. And we'll just fucking get right to the quick of it. Now, definitely a strong start here. You are easily, there's a lot of settlers and travelers. People come and go from places like Leylon, right? It's not the most hospitable. You might come out here thinking like, oh yeah, I could stake my claim kind of like the other folks here, right? I could be early to this, right? And if this town blows up, I own half the fucking town because I bought it for pennies on the dollar kind of thing, right? Like, just like Bitcoin, but folks come and go quickly. The faces are new and disappear and all that. So you have no problem kind of slipping on these different skins, AO, as you kind of go from one group to the next. Definitely effective on that first one. Let's see how you do through the rest of the time.
Only can go down from here, buddy. Just remember that. Damn.
Not that. I mean, it's still with your modifier, obviously. The fucking not too shabby. Yeah. +8's. We're not hurting here. I mean, certainly you don't make a sort of probe as far and as deep as you do on that initial pass, but you're able to kind of also keep up, over time. So let's go ahead and see what your third one's at.
Oh! You'll love to hate to see it.
I'm talking to myself because I forgot my push to talk. That natural 20 for a 28 obviously skews you higher, all the same for your average. So definitely not too shabby there. What do you think Whisper's getting up to on a natural 20, a 17, and a 16?
I have infiltrated a local, I don't know, Freemason or clique or a knitting club, and they have fully accepted me as a member, and they are spilling those.
Absolutely. There are secrets abound. Mostly, gossip with the knitting club, but you also find out some other things. So we'll see what things Whisperer has turned up in the meantime. When I have some time to figure that out, So
I heard it was the mayor of the city who wanted the kids to be taken to the.
That's the joke in D&D, dude.
The gang goes to Little St. James. Oh man, going to free the children. I hope,
dude. But the Wendelian Empire files.
It really does. Alrighty. That's right. She did, and she'll do it again. Is the sad part.
He's protecting PDFs.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So on that bombshell, that brings us to none other than you, Mr. Vethic. We are going to go ahead and have a couple of rolls. Insight would be ideal if you would, as you begin to kind of work with Galileo, the local mage, who is in charge of refurbishing the tower here into like barracks and things like that for the guard. So why don't you go ahead and give us an insight check to start us off? Not too shabby.
Another
go
one?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead and give me one more.
Okay.
And roll it off.
Oh!
Ooh, baby.
Fucking
donut. Baby, you simply love to see it, folks. On a second nat 20 on our downtime adventures. Fantastic. So, Vethic, you spend a fair amount of your time working with Galileo. Most of the sort of formulaic and scholarly approach to magic that Galileo and, the wizard before him, Thalavar, and all wizards, the sort of scholarly magic that they function off is lost on you. It's not how you engage with magic necessarily, to have this like, okay, I'm gonna fucking study these textbooks and I'm gonna repeat this. I'm gonna figure this. It's all bullshit to fucking Vethic.
That's right, dude.
Your power is directly and specifically granted to you by a god, right? And it's like, I don't know what you nerds are up to. Like, I just fucking, I prayed a bunch and just let it flow. Exactly. It's sort of not quite comes natural like your sorcerer pals, but not far off either. Your sort of devotion to the Mother of Death herself is where your powers come from. So it's all a little bit odd to you, right? However, the endeavors are something that you're familiar with. The primary focus of this tower at the time it was built was in fact interplanar travel. The kind of travel that brought you to this world from the Shadowfell, just as it brought Whisper from the Fae. Through the time you spend with Galileo, he explains that Thalavar was interested in building a planar beacon in this tower, which would allow him to attract creatures from other dimensions here, trap them, and study them. This all seemed to be pretty darn successful for Thalavar, until some great catastrophe befell the tower. And this is all stuff you're learning through your conversations with Galileo, of course, as well. But some great catastrophe befell the tower and the mage, and ever since then it has been malfunctioning and drawing all sorts of extraplanar creatures to Leyland, lending to its stunted development here as you look around you. at one point, a magical shift in the ley lines had sort of a massive feedback effect on this planar beacon and caused it to send out a powerful blast through the city, killing everybody who was there at the time. So that was a whole other thing in this town's history. So they've been having a hard time kind of getting any real foothold here. Gallio, for his part, as you work with him, was sent here by the Order of the Many-Starred Cloak. They are sort of a mage's guild. For you guys, where you come from in the Empire, it would be perhaps a paltry version of none other than your Cerberus Assembly, which is a massive, powerful, kind of pulling the strings politically and imperially group of mages who just fucking control magic and are pretty darn good. Little evil, but also good. So he's been sent here by them to oversee the refurbishment of the tower into a garrison for the local guard forces. In order to safely turn down the beacon, Gallio has been focusing on understanding how it was built in the first place based on Thalavar's own notes, but those notes are coded in secret hand, as wizards are wont to do. And so the work is slow and arduous for Gallio. Now, after all that yapping, brings us to your first wisdom insight check of 21. With Gallio's focus on sort of unraveling this mystery, on that high insight check, there's definitely a point where you're like, I don't necessarily think you need to understand all of that in order to kind of safely decommission and sort of, just kind of pull this place apart to settle it down. You sort of feel in your time with Gallio here that his sort of feverish study of these notes betray a priority above and beyond decommissioning this place safely, for sure. So, lately, as you guys have been spending more time together, Vethic, Gallio's already short temper. He's kind of a spicy boy. His already short temper has been flaring up more and more. He's increasingly short and loud with soldiers under his charge for the refurbishment, and he's looking a lot more haggard, with stains of purple ink on his clothes and skin. So, with that brings us to our 23. Gallio's behavior in the short time that you've known him has moved from being a short-tempered, kind of spicy Marquesian man from the continent to the south, who just kind of has a way about him with folks. He's just hitting the point where he's now becoming outright erratic. The bags under his eyes have darkened. What's that?
He's just off the fucking wall.
He's off the wall. The bags under his eyes have darkened and creased, while the rims of his eyelids are a dark, angry red, with veins crawling across the sclera of his eyes.
The sclera?
The sclera, sorry. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
What the fuck?
Thank you, Nurse Doze. I appreciate that one. The sclera. I saw that and I was like, I don't know if that's sclera or sclera. Just, I thought there was an extra E in there, but there's only one.
The whites of his eyes.
The whites of his eyes. Veiny, bloodshot. On your last visit a few days ago, Gallio had been furious, ranting without end about their complaints and anxieties. Complaining that strange noises have been heard around the tower and unsettling apparitions are seen at night. Gallio is tiring of their cowardly nonsense and the interruptions that it brings to his work, and he has beseeched you and your comrades to prove once and for all that nothing is amiss in House Thalavar. But on, I will say, that natural 20 insight check, things are indeed amiss in the tower, and they're sure as shit amiss for your recent compadre Galileo here, who seems to be going off a deep end. And I will also say on that natural 20, that kind of builds off your initial, like he's got other priorities. Yeah, I will say that with that natural 20, give you a little extra. You think that he's distinctly got ulterior motives, and it's something that leads up the chain from him, right? This is not a personal endeavor. He's operating under secret orders from the folks above him.
First, I want to ask him when the last time he slept.
I've been sleeping fine. I go to bed every night, and I wake up in the morning. What do you expect from me? Things have been fine.
Or he's on drugs or something, man.
He's on drugs.
How much coffee do you drink a day?
He is cracking down another pot of coffee at this point, jittery and erratic as he is. But we'll say that you're not necessarily among him at this very moment. So with our sort of downtime activity cleared, I will say that you guys are sort of all together in the place that you've been staying, that kind of little ramshackle home that was not bequeathed to you, but sort of leased out to you or rented out to you on behalf of your, contracting guild as a sort of base of operations. So with that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's no deeds and there's no ins to be found. So with that, I will turn it over to you guys as you sort of not huddle together, but hang out together here in this space that you are comfortable is a safe space for you to talk openly in as you all kind of figure out what's next.
It's only a matter.
Wait, where are we at again? Are we in the tower right now?
No, you're not in the tower right now. You're in like the sort of rundown home that was leased out by your guild as like a space for you guys.
Gotcha.
It's only a matter of time before the civilians turn their allegiance to the Empire. I'm sure of it.
Guys, Galileo is going off. Galileo is acting a bit more strange than usual, I must say. He hit me the other day out of nowhere. I show them this bruise on my arm.
Did I miss something, or is Doze? Can I do inside check on Doze?
Oh, you gotta hit him with the yes and. Yeah, I mean you could certainly inside check him.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling the truth. He fucking beat me. Like, I placed like this vial off to the side to clear off some room, and he flipped out, and he beat me.
You've been traveling with us for far too long to get your ass beat by a wizard.
I know, dude. I was just like, I didn't want to kick his ass because I thought I might accidentally kill him. So I was like, dude, I'm gonna let you chill, and I'm gonna come back later. But he stopped wearing, like, deodorant, too. So this guy, like, he hasn't showered in forever and, like brushed his teeth. Like, he's fucking... Something ain't right with him, dude.
As you're saying that, I've sort of thought of one last thing to give you here on that natural 20, because, you do gotta honor that natural 20.
He stinks.
He stinks. He does stink. But as you're talking about the stains and the stinks and all that stuff, something sort of clicks in that it's that all of that purple, what do you call it? All that purple ink that he always seems to be covered in when you run into him recently. You think back onto all the sort of scribblings and the going over the notes together and this and that, and just him trying to crack the cipher that Thalavar had on his own notes. You've only ever seen Galileo use black ink.
Oh. So it's purple ink. So it's either he ran out of black ink, which I know my man always has a steady supply of black ink, so that's not too plausible. Maybe they're writing some kind of secret code, or he's hiding something for us, or maybe it isn't even Galileo himself. Something's up, man. But he stinks.
Literally and figuratively.
I think we should keep our eyes on him, man. Just like, because he's been training, he's watching over the guard. He's treating them like shit. So I'm sure the local garrison has some not so nice things about him to say about him. And I don't know, man. I feel like he's riding close to the edge, and something's gonna fall over. I think we need to kick his ass.
Yeah, I mean, all pretty well said and true. He has been acting up, and things are strange. What's up?
I would ask Zadok if he's heard anything from any of the guards that he's been training about the tower, if they've heard anything or can attest to that or anything like that.
My knitting club has said the same thing.
My guys don't have time to think, Doza.
They don't have time. Yeah, honestly, dude. Honestly, it's probably a good outlet for them.
Yeah, I mean, you don't you don't engage in a lot of like gossip or things like that, but you have heard Uberto on that like there have been some whisperings from some of the guys about like some of the other guards assigned to that task of clearing out that tower, that he's been acting up and that they've been seeing some shit around there, right? Like there have been weird noises, there candles blow out, doors slam shut, all these odd things around the tower that are sort of spoken of in whispers. And above and beyond you not like seeking out that kind of gossip, these dudes typically don't want Muberto to catch wind of that kind of stuff and that kind of talk. And so they kind of cut it short around you, but now that you're getting this other side, that all sort of makes a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Would there be like any sort of like higher being, godlike creature that would be associated with the color purple?
You can GM Zuni. Make a, I guess, yeah, we'd call that a religion check. I think that is pretty squarely in that realm. 15. No, like, strong, clear association. It is definitely, like, you guys had recently been on that island full of weird occult, stuff that sort of led you to this area in the first place. There's nothing that's like, oh, purple is the color of such and such, right? There's none of those kind of things. It is a consistent motif, right? In the same way that you'll see lots of spooky maroon and blood red and black as night, things like that. But there's nothing that's like tying it back to any one particular entity or god. With that, however, and Zuni back, Zuni, to catch you up real quick, we have mostly been doing our downtime activities and things like that, terminating with our pal Vethic, who has been hanging out with Galio, the local mage, who is in charge of sort of refurbishing this old wizard's tower from being just that, a fallen apart, decrepit, and malfunctioning wizard tower that had a planar beacon on it, to instead making it a barracks. But Vethic has noticed a number of sort of oddities and things like that as Galio, the local mage's behavior has changed. He stanks, and he's just overall acting more erratic, lashing out, and seemingly a little off the deep end currently. But that's where we're at now. But we'll take a moment here to rewind just a second here. If you're already here, Zuni.
I am.
Fantastic. So with that, let me do one thing. Alrighty. With that, Zuni, I believe that you had been coordinating quite a bit frequently with Griselda Copperpot, who remembers? Griselda, who is sort of the lead forewoman here. She is in charge of trying to make all of this go and kind of orchestrate the various reconstruction efforts in Leylon. And maybe more than that, you have been working at the Shrine of Luck to just kind of help give folks a little bit of the guidance of Avandra, and help all these settlers and sort of far blown travelers on the path that they tread, and in doing so, trying to sort of establish a bit of a communal connection with a lot of the folks here. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. Try to learn intel through friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is certainly a worthwhile endeavor. For my mind, I had sort of marked you as a persuasion check here, thinking that you're probably not deceiving these folks, per se, but being truthful and honest and trying to establish those connections and like you say, kind of gather that information. 15, strong start. Now, there's a couple weeks here between where we left off and where we are now. So a 23, definitely a strong start as you kind of get that initial rush of folks. You're a newcomer. You were involved in that big hullabaloo on the day that you arrived here. You helped a bunch of the kids out and what have you. So definitely off to a strong start. And everybody else has done 3 of these. So give us your next one if you would. Same roll. Good. Keeping things going, you definitely develop a lot more regular, folks around the shrine. Some who are there for that sort of religious leaning, like we say, Avandra and the Goddess of Luck is pretty popular in a place like this where a little luck goes a long way. And you are certainly being quite effective out there. Give us your last roll. Oof. Things fall off a little bit there after a little while. So why don't you tell us, as best you can think of, what Zuni's getting up to, how these roles sort of play out a little bit, and where that brings us to as you guys are all currently huddled in your sort of shabby rooms together here in the safety of your own little base. But in these ensuing weeks since our last adventure, what's been going on with you on those roles?
I'd like to think that she spent a lot of time kind of establishing herself at the shrine, like you said, and just making inroads into the community, trying to get information on the various cult activities that have been seen and the things that we might be encountering as we've been contracted to defend this place. So just kind of making relationships, and that goes really well for a while, and then there's some sort of social taboo or something that she doesn't know about, and she just kind of like steps on her own foot type deal, foot and mouth fully in the last week, and it kind of pushes some people away.
Yeah, not dissimilar to some of the stuff that happened with Mara, who just sort of hit a wall and struggled with some of that stuff. But all the same, a strong start and a strong middle section there has definitely put you pretty well ahead. And like I explained to these guys, there's no like specific mechanical things that are granted that I have set like as gates or anything like that. But I've sort of taken note of what everybody got, and we'll see, what these things uncover in due time in the town of Leylon. So fantastic. So just to catch you up again, Zuni, that's what you've been up to. Mara has been doing her God's honest best to sow some rumors, and the social battery sort of started dwindling a little bit there, and her intensity, as Mara can be quite intense, started to kind of very passionate about the Empire, with which she has no connection, but definitely kind of rubs people not quite the wrong way, but has them a little off put. Wilberto, meanwhile, found great success drilling a lot of these ugly humps that were serving as these sort of frontier guards, and other like sort of first responder types of these settler villagers. Has been drilling the piss out of them quite successfully, getting these guys into fighting shape and getting some cohesion around them as a unit. Whisper also found quite a bit of success, just sort of floating between social groups and gathering quite a bit of information from all these different folks around town, but doing quite well on that. And Vethik has been spending time with the mage and noticing that he's been falling deeper and deeper into something, but he's not quite sure what, and has put together some odd little things that all point to something being off at the house of Thalavar, the tower in the center of town, and that kind of brings us up to speed. So yeah, you kind of are here now, mid conversation with the gang in these rooms.
I suppose we should go check this guy out, huh?
Yeah. There's some weird purple stuff. Those are spawning, and that can't be good.
And would there be like anything that the civilians that I've been talking about that they may have been like, I wish the Empire would fucking take care of this sort of deal? Anything on that front?
No, nothing quite like that. Of like, man, I wish those cold Germanic Imperials would come down to my lovely beach town and really put boot to ass. But there is an element, kind of as you sow your rumors of like, yeah, a little bit of presence from anybody would be nice here. Yeah, no, any Has, I think is the guy's name. I'd have to find him in the notes. But the lead guardsman here is kind of the fat sacks of shit that Wilberto has been whipping into shape. This guy is like the fattest and sack of shittiest, and has certainly not been partaking in these exercises, seeing himself a bit above it. But no, but they all kind of would like somebody, helping out here, but they're not all that eager for the Empire, and honestly, it's not even like on their minds in a lot of ways, right? It's not something that they would be like, yeah, I hope the Empire invades,
Damn, we have so much more work to do. No, I'm doing a shitty job.
That was a self-appointed job. She could have been busting out fucking bench presses in the yard.
Playing volleyball with kids.
That's right.
Volleyball after this.
But on your suggestion here, Zuni, yeah, not only do you reckon it's probably a good idea to check out what Vethik has been dealing with here, but in fact, the mage Galio has implored Vethik to basically round you guys up here and kind of prove to these guards that there is no ghost, or do whatever the heck you need to do to just shut them up so that he can get back on track with his work. Nope. What would you ding dongs like to do?
Take us to your stinky boss, Doza.
Onion, get your torture tools ready.
I have my left and my right fist, and that's all I need.
Boy, dude.
Break
Just
this
in
guy's
case
legs.
things go south, let's start making our way towards the tower.
Yeah, and on that, I mean, let me ask you this. Anytime you have been at the tower throughout, call it regular business hours,
Yep.
there's been nothing of note, right? You've not noticed anything other than, Galio's worsening condition, let's call it. But you've never noticed any spooky shit. But everything that is said is that this only happens at night. So are you guys going over middle of the day? I mean, it's kind of your call at this point. When in this, day are you finding your way over to the tower?
Do we want to go? Do we want to see? Like, is he
Yeah,
living
we
in
should
the tower?
probably.
Yes, he would be staying in the tower. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say maybe we can like raid his room and see if there's any. Aaron, I can find any intel or do some sneaky shit or something like that. If he's like
We should,
butters to his
yeah.
boss. or anything.
Definitely get a daytime observation in, and maybe do a little scouting around inside, and then a nighttime observation.
Yeah, I
Go to
mean,
the store, get some sage, get an infrared
Mhm.
camera.
mm-hmm.
Find the
Little
ghost.
tummy sticks.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, with that kind of exact thought in mind, right? You guys could go over kind of late afternoon or early evening or whatever, or it's like, all right, let me get a baseline for this place, and then just kind of go, do an overnight there. Like that would definitely be an option if you wanted to do something like that. Alrighty, so you guys sounds like start making your way. What time of day would you say that you make your way over there?
6 o'clock right after dinner.
That sounds nighttime.
Up at 5 a.m.
Well, are we
Yeah,
doing a daytime checkout and a nighttime checkout? Or
I'll
are
do
we
the
just
sunrise checkout. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys can certainly go over kind of daytime, midday, sun's high.
Yeah,
As
12
you,
noon.
yeah, 12 noon. As you guys kind of walk through the streets, especially as a group now, the folks kind of smile and wave at you. The kids all chase you down, kind of running around you and following behind you and laughing and chattering. Mara, one little girl, wants to show you how strong she is, and takes her a little bit of an effort. God's honest best, and she heaves up a rather large stone all on her own.
Hell yeah.
So she just wants you to see and be proud of her and all that as you
Give her
guys
a
kind of
high
make
five.
your way. Hell yeah, a little high five. She drops the stone, very narrowly missing her feet, but goes for that high five eagerly, and then runs off laughing to her mom. So you guys kind of head over to the tower, and yeah, you are certainly familiar with the way here, Mr. Vethic. So it's certainly a familiar stroll to you. But we can go ahead and activate this map, which I will put your tokens down on. Alrighty, so this is going to be one of those where we've got a couple kind of quadrants on a single page that will move as we go through the various floors. So with that, why not? We'll try. Oh, because your token's not down, dum dum. Just
How could
kidding,
you do that, Ernie?
obviously my fault. There you go. All's well. All's right in the world. The fucking blinding light flashes, and you can see again. Fantastic. So you guys kind of stroll up. This is a, kind of like a 4-story. In fact, can I be a clever boy, or is there? Let me check one thing. Is there a good image of it? Not really. So what I'll do really quickly, check my walls.
And 25 feet of all of us.
Hang on, let me just.
He's gonna fireball us. Get out of
That's right. There we go. A little bit contrived, but we got there. Oh, we didn't get there in the end. How do I? Well, we're not going to do the little visual of the tower, because I can't unfuck myself. And we all know whose fault that is. Okay, so we've got kind of a rundown but tall, once beautiful tower that sort of stands on a high plateau in town here. It was definitely sort of a place of prominence in this town back before Leylon sort of came to ruin, and instead was had the makings of something special, right? A nice mining town at the far southern tip along the coast, where it could be both a mining town and a port town. A lot going for it, but a lot went wrong as well. So with that, you guys, the tower rests on a rocky plateau, and a grand portico once abutted the building to the west, but it fell long ago, and only a few broken arches of masonry remain here. The eastern side, as you would well know, Vethik is sort of undergoing repair. There's like a big set of scaffolding and a crane on the very top level, kind of on one side. But it is, that is the Tower of Thalavar, and you guys stand outside it now. Do you head in?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why the hell not, dude?
Zodek's been here before, right?
No, I have.
Vethik.
You have? Alright, I'll let you lead the way.
What up, homies?
Give us the tour.
All right, welcome MTV Crib.
GM. You guys are going.
Who the fuck is this dude?
You're going
I thought he
up
had a
the
bag of money,
downstairs.
dude.
Yeah, it's just a big fat bag of cash.
I thought he had a big fat bag of cash, dude, and that was his arm.
No, you see in here Gallio, the local wizard, a sort of stout Marquesian man with the sort of dark coppery skin and jet black hair, and sort of a deep brown eye color. Younger man, despite what the little portrait the token has. Ignore the fact that he's a billion in that. A younger man, but he is definitely, as Vethik had described, looking like shit. No two ways about it. His eyes are bloodshot. His bags are heavy. Wrinkles are deep. And he looks up at you guys with sort of a sudden flash. Oh, you're here. Well, I don't know what you're going to do here now during the day, but welcome, I suppose. Good to see you again, Vethik.
What up, my glip glop?
Yes, Glip Glop. What can I do for you?
Thought I'd bring the gang around. We're just making the rounds, man. Just
We're gonna search for some clues.
we're not supposed to tell him that, dude.
We're
We're here to
show
take
them
the
what
tour.
we've been some of the stuff I've been working on without you see. Nothing crazy, nothing bad. Just some some stuff we got to report back to the Empire. I figured this would be the best place to show them.
Excuse me, sir. What is a magic?
And I would like to roll a deception.
You certainly can, and keep in mind, he did ask you guys to come check out the so-called ghostly matters around town. So it's
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can certainly let him know that you are also looking for clues. Like there's nothing taboo about that in this case.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
we're gonna start, looking around, and probably come back here later tonight. But I just wanted to show them where some of the points of activity have been reported in the past. Hope that's cool.
Yes, very good. Tonight is probably your better bet. That is when it all seems to go wrong for these fools. But perhaps, yes, you can get the lay of the land here. Do stay out of my way, but I will in turn stay out of yours down here as I work on this.
You got it, homie.
What are you working on down here?
Are you a scholarly type of the wizarding world?
No, I was just being polite.
Well, then, I guess for the sake of being polite, I've been trying to crack the code on this old mage's spells and books and everything. All his notes here from when he built this place, so we could finally take it down properly.
Ooh, interesting. Are you making any progress?
Slow, grinding, infuriating progress, but progress.
Wait, so you weren't the original owner of this tower?
No, that asshole died hundreds of years ago.
And you just want to destroy it? Is that what I heard?
Destroy it. No, I have been doled the lofty responsibility by my order, in conjunction with the Clovis Concord of the Menagerie Coast, to oversee the decommission of this site, which they believe has brought nothing but problems. The planar beacon that Thalavar, the mage who once lived here, was toying with, seems to be on the fritz after the catastrophic ruin of the place, and it is my job to try and turn it down without blowing up the entire town for a second time, as it did so many years ago.
Oh, I don't think I heard that story. Maybe I did.
Is that how the original owner died?
Not that particular one. There was some other event that happened at some point or other, but no, the one that's the one that's killed him. The one I'm talking about, there was a grand shifting in the ley lines that caused a sort of power feedback, call it. Too much juice all of a sudden coming from all different directions, and kind of inverted the whole thing, causing a massive pulse of destructive energy through the town, killing all the townsfolk here, and shutting things down once again.
That's not very good.
I should say not. And I see you're not one of the wizarding types, as he responds to you, Roberto. So I can't imagine you'll do too much good for me down here.
I know a few basic little tricks, but if you need anything heavy moved, just give me a shout.
Basic tricks and heavy things moved. I'll keep you in mind. There's plenty of stone upstairs blocking off some of the rooms that we haven't been able to get to, so maybe you could make yourself useful and spend a couple of weeks moving that until we can get access again.
Yeah, no problem.
Before we go any further, DJ Dadbot went AFK for a second there.
Sure did, dude. It just keeps playing Ancient Stones over and over.
I
My thing
hear
is,
old song right now.
you hear that? I don't hear it, and I don't know why.
Interesting.
I have that stream open, and it's not working for me. Popped it out.
Well, I'm listening through Spotify.
You're on spot. Okay, very good. Then
Yeah.
I'm listening the other way, and it's not working for me. That's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. I will be a brave little boy and sally forth. Let me try one thing, actually, before I do, just to try and resolve this really quickly before we keep moving. Let's try entire screen, share screen, no sound. But why? No way to know. Not worth trying to figure out. Alrighty. So, with that, yep, you guys have checked in with Galileo down here. He is certainly as ornery and stinky as described by Vethic, and also as described by Vethic. You guys do see staining his robes, his hands, in numerous places up his arms. There's a lot of purple ink.
Are they in any kind of designs, or is it like a
No, I
not
mean,
like a tattoo or a sigil or anything?
make a perception check on that.
Don't mind if I do.
Be perceiving
19
things.
for a 27. Yeah, I mean, no, there's really no rhyme or reason. They do, honest to God, look like
He just
splotches
spilled
of
something on the
ink. Yeah, and yeah, just it's a random mess. There doesn't seem to be any kind of unifying idea behind any of it.
Okay.
But you guys do all certainly clock it just as Vethic had described it to you. And also, as Vethic had described, you see that as Galileo here, as you guys kind of greet him and have a look at what he's working on briefly, he's scribbling away in pitch black ink. Perfectly, completely dark black, not a lick of purple in it.
Hmm.
Have you, is there any place in the tower you normally stay other than down here?
No, I pretty much keep it to down here. There's not much else elsewhere. Some of the stuff is blocked off up there, you see, as I mentioned, and largely useless. But down here is some of the library and what have you. So this is where a lot of the notes were from Thalavar, and this is where I tend to work on things.
Do you keep any notes?
He gestures broadly to like the entire table around him, where he's got like stacks of tomes and loose leaves of paper and things like that, of all these notes of him like cross-referencing and trying to work backwards from what he gets out of Thalavar's as he tries to crack that code, trying to like simultaneously put together a picture of how this all was built, as well as like unraveling an encryption, basically, that Thalavar wrote his own notes in.
I just remembered that I need to pick something up from the market later. Do you mind if I just scribble that down on a note real quick?
Sure. If there's one thing we've got aplenty here, it's ink and paper. Here, have your way. I didn't take you as some man of letters. I wouldn't expect you to be able to write, but here, have your way.
Awesome. Can I do a perception check on this ink and quill and stuff?
Yeah, what are you looking for in particular?
Well, I want to, I'm gonna write on the paper a little bit, see what color the ink comes out on the paper. Maybe give the ink a little sniff. The guy thinks I'm a little a big hunkin' awful. I'm gonna play the part, but also be kind of investigating at the same time.
There you go. Absolutely, yeah. And on a, you said perception, but you also said investigating there. I will leave it to you. Which one you're leaning towards, whichever skill you feel better suits your role.
Let's do investigation.
Oof. Yeah, on a 9, nothing really sticks out to you. Tastes like ink, smells like ink.
Mm-hmm.
Second taste, still tastes like
It's
ink.
like ink. Okay,
Not
yeah.
bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Little fishy.
Alright.
a little fishy, yeah, a little squiddy. You reckon they pull that stuff clean out the ocean? Yeah, nothing really stands out to you about this ink. It seems like normal black ink, but it does seem like black ink.
All right. Well, I scribble down 1 meat on a scrap of paper and put it in my pocket. It's my grocery list later.
Only 1 meat, Uberto?
Only 1 meat.
One
Yeah,
meat?
I'm modest tonight. I'm fasting.
As they call
Well,
it, one meat.
One meat Uberto. I imagine that 1 meat is like the fucking Flintstones dinosaur rig.
The whole leg of the cow. Like.
Yeah, right. It's like Pally, like scale wise.
Martin.
Alright, well, I did my
These
part.
fucking things is like 1 meat to Zodic. Oh, killer. But yeah, so you guys can kind of meander around the tower. Anybody else asking Galio any questions anywhere you're checking out, as you kind of start poking around?
I wanted to ask him if he's explored the rest of the tower, see, what he's found, like what we're in for if we're going to look around.
Yeah, so as you ask him that, he kind of rolls his eyes at you. There's 4 stories. We've explored, we've explored just about all of it. There's, some of the rooms are still blocked off. We think that his bedroom of all of them is one of them, but that's one of the few that is currently inaccessible due to the collapse of some of the walls and roof and the rubble there. But there's only a few rooms down here. One is an old kitchen that is wildly defunct. What I think may have been the servants' quarters or something with a bunch of rubble. That's just, he kind of gestures over his left shoulder. That's just there behind me. To the north is the library, which is where I've been working through a lot of the study materials that we've got. That is just something I've been sort of cobbling together with all the various things. Upstairs is is a large library. I think that's a large library. I've mostly pulled anything of use out of it that for the little study that I've built down here to the north. But no, there's not much to find. It's just rumors of ghosts, if you believe in that, and a bunch of guards making far slower work than they should.
Ooh, spooky for old those.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't found the beacon, the planar beacon or whatever it is called?
We have. That is on the 4th floor. It's all the way up at the top where the crane is. It's just not been something we can... Well, we don't just want to go yanking that out, given the state that it's been in and some of the consequences it's had.
Sure. That's fair. Okay.
To Zuni that maybe you should do some detect magic rituals as we explore.
Whole place would light up, wouldn't it? Hmm.
Maybe you can get a sense of like more powerful magic in some areas than others with it. Is it a 1 and 0 binary?
I was gonna say it says detect magic, not variable ranges of magic.
Oh my.
That's a different spell. Idiot.
Zuni,
Magic
do you
spell
have
magic.
Zuni? Do you have detect magic?
Yeah, I was just looking. I do. Yeah.
I think I do 2 as a rich.
Yeah, feel free. I mean, you guys tell me what it does, and whether it's a
Uh,
variable scale or binary.
I don't think I want to like set up a ritual in the middle of this dude's work area, but maybe when we leave this room.
No,
No, I think he'd like it.
Yeah,
he
this
knows
dude.
we're coming.
Yeah.
We don't have to be.
He doesn't, we'll kick his ass.
We got
Gonna go
our
ahead and spell
baseline.
magic.
Yeah, we get. No, we walk through. We get a baseline measurement, and then we do detect magic again to see, compare and contrast if it's stronger.
Can you imagine somebody just walks into your office at work every night and just starts scrawling chalk across the floor?
So I saw a couple of you guys go exploring.
Still all peeking around.
Just a little peeking around. Nothing wrong with that. You're free to peek. Top right, northeast corner. That is our kitchen. The tower's
Onion
here.
beelines.
That's
Make
right.
some
Just
food, onion.
literally sprinting. It is unused and covered in a layer of like masonry, dust, and rubble everywhere. The chimney over the hearth ascends for like half the height of the tower before kind of opening onto some of the breached third floor. Just not of much use there. The old masonry dust biscuit, a little hardtack.
Hell yeah, dude.
Trying to make something out of nothing.
They
It's
fucking
something.
suck.
It's not good, but it's something. Not quite typical.
Atypical meal. If
Yeah, that's it could certainly be described as atypical as you guys crunch through the masonry dust and stone bits in
You're
whatever.
getting your daily levels of fucking minerals. You're fine.
Asbestos, baby.
Mhm.
A little bit of fiber.
Chef
Fire
Mara
spreader.
goes to work as soon as she hears there's a kitchen, and yeah, I mean it's something. Down below the kitchen is what was sort of described as the servants' quarters. Looks like sort of a meager room. It would be relatively expected to have those sort of servants' quarters there. For a tower like this, right? Somebody to go and open the door and things like that. So you guys can sort of make sense of it, but it's mostly, if we're being honest with ourselves, mostly just caved in with a bunch of rubble over what little furniture there would have been in this room.
well, gang, should we?
It's always worked in the past, dude.
Mm-hmm. And there is finally that room to the north of you, Whisper, which is Galilio's study here. The sort of walls of this room are lined with bookshelves housing dozens of musty scrolls and journals taken, as he described, from that library on the second floor. And this is, where he spends a lot of his time. When he's either out there kind of at the work table or in here in kind of his private study area, just trying to get through this. You'd also notice, just kind of forgot to mention it, out in the room, the sort of main foyer there are like the bedrolls and things like that of the guards who he's mentioned would work upstairs.
Interesting. Can I do an Arcana check maybe and see if there's anything out of place, like spooky?
In the study?
Like a purple ink maybe? Yeah, can I investigation looking for purple ink?
Yeah, by all means, go for it.
It's not my strong suit.
That's the ghost if it's French.
Somebody could certainly help him with the help action if you so chose.
I do that. The hell?
Alrighty.
Yeah, advantage.
Probably not gonna be much better.
Much better.
Much better.
Yeah, on that, you do sort of tab through some of this stuff looking for anything awry. Vethik mentioned that he fears this guy has these ulterior motives, answering to somebody else in terms of like his actual work here, above and beyond his sort of slow descent into not quite madness, but not far off. Plenty of vials of ink, but just like outside, all of it is black.
All black.
I'm not finding anything purple here.
Maybe it's like what's this? Invisible ink, maybe.
Yep, that's what it is, Aaron. All right, everybody, case closed. We figured it out. Pack it up. Let's get out of here.
It works for the orcs in 40k. If it's purple,
sure does,
it's
dude.
invisible.
But then they had the power of Slanesh or something like that.
Not quite. They are just they all have sort of psyker powers, so when
Yeah,
they all get going, yeah.
Slanesh. Anyways, different universe.
Different. No, this is still the 40k universe. This is just a little while before it.
Hey, Dead Guys, I got a little
Yes.
tech question for you.
Hit me.
If I open up my character's profile, the one that shows like all my skills and my portrait, all that stuff.
Yep.
My FPS goes from 78 to 16. Do you happen to know what could cause that?
No, I mean, do you actually feel the FPS dropping?
Oh yeah. When I roll a dice, it's like really bad.
Interesting.
And I just realized, because I've been messing around with settings. I put the game on low performance mode, which initially fixed everything because it reset it, and I was like, oh wow, I'm like, perfect FPS now. And then I realized a little bit ago when I did a dice roll that the dice was like rolling like as a slideshow. So I'm still just kind of tinkering around with things, and I've come to the conclusion that it's when I open up my character's little profile, I guess, it just tanks the FPS. Because I'm at 16 right now. If I turn it off, I'm back at 62. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sort of a memory.
What
leak.
if you? Yeah, it could exactly. It could be like a memory. It could be a hardware. What do you call it? Acceleration. Let me ask you this: if you go to the top right of your character sheet, which is what you're talking about, that's your character sheet. There's a little next to the X button. There's a little pop-out button. If you pop that out into a separate window, one, is it legible? Like, does it look normal?
No.
No, is okay. That's what we were talking about with Safari.
But my FPS is way better now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know what's causing that. I will tell you this: it does not happen on my side. It stays at 58 no matter what. But mine's weird in its own right from a networking perspective. My latency is pinged at 149 milliseconds. It never changes, which makes zero sense because it's literally running on the same switch as this computer, right? It's on a local network. But I think that's probably because of my VLANing. So anyway, the long walk here is I don't see what you're seeing because of how I connect, and I see my own weird things because of how I connect. So in all that, it's just like, I don't really have any good answers or explanation.
Yeah, no worries.
What's hilarious is I'm at 21 ms, and I'm half a country away.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Is like I know that I don't have 150 milliseconds because I could ping this computer and get, a 2 millisecond response or whatever. Yeah. So it's something about how it's represented over like the VLAN that I have it on to segregate it from my main network that makes it act that way. Does anybody else have distinct frame rate issues like Zodic's describing?
Smooth as butter.
Yeah,
I lock at 58 and just sit there the whole time.
Interesting.
Only Zodic had is 5080.
Yeah, 5090, dude.
Yep, go ahead, Onion.
Sorry, I've been frozen at 62 this entire time, and I've had the character sheet open as well.
Interesting. What browser are you using, Zodic?
Firefox.
Firefox. That is the objectively correct choice. I'm guessing Onion's using Chrome.
Yes, sir.
You make me
I'm
sick.
I'm on Firefox.
You're also on fire. Okay, interesting. Yeah, hard to say. Not sure what the dealio is there. I'm sorry, I don't have a good answer for you.
Yep, no worries.
Alrighty. So with that, shifting gears back again. Well, and before we do it, let me take one more quick second above the table here. Zuni, you looking to wrap around 11:30 for your side?
I hate to say it because I was the late guy, but yeah, I mean,
Say no more. We'll do a little more sniffing around the tower here, exploring, and then we'll wrap it up after our kind of daylight scope out session here. So that works. So that just to set some nice boundaries and expectations, easy enough. So with that, you guys head upstairs. It looks like.
Yep.
Let me see.
I'd also like to pop a divine sense once we get to the next floor.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna do something jarring and just delete you guys.
Fucking
But I-
dad god.
Mm-hmm.
GPK.
The tower got nuked again.
The planes of
Honestly.
existence, dude.
I believe that's everybody. Can anybody not see? Not see.
Hey, yo! He said the
Fucking God.
word!
Fantastic. So, you guys kind of trudge up these old stairs after kind of sniffing around that first level and finding it just as it said on the tin with old Vethic. You guys kind of stretch your legs, head up the stairs, continuing to kind of look around and stop off at the second story. There is what appears to be, just as he said, like a library here. Lots of, there are multiple chambers here, all of which are kind of ruined and decrepit, stacked with Tholivar's moldering research notes. As you guys poke around, assuming, are you guys all stacked up? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, okay, you are. You're all just fucking cowering in a corner on top of each other.
I'm here. Running through the hallway.
Running through the hallways.
Crossbow.
Are you guys exploring any of these rooms here?
before we do that, I was gonna see if maybe I could spend a couple minutes and throw down that detect magic.
Yes, I'm sorry. I talked about that, and you said you wanted to do a divine sense as well, Mara.
Yep. Mhm.
Yes, you can both go ahead and do those things. And
It is
are you
large.
doing that as a ritual?
I am, yeah. So it's gonna take a while.
Going to take a little while for sure. Divine sense is in fact instant. So Mara, you are. You tell me, what's it like? What do you do for your? You doing big sniff?
I'm doing a big inhale on this floor right now.
Big sniff, and you kind of seek out. Also understanding that you're in the center of sort of the sphere, right? So you would get sort of above and below. You sense evil and good. Or no, that's a whole other spell. I'm sorry. But yeah, with that, your divine sense does not turn anything up. You do not detect the presence in this home of any fey, fiends, or undead.
And nothing consecrated or desecrated.
And nothing consecrated or desecrated. No.
All right, mystery's over. We can all go home. It's fine.
No ghosts. No ghosts here.
Maybe it's not a ghost, dude. Maybe it's just something that wouldn't identify as a ghost, but is still like celestial or something like that. Like something fae related or demon related.
Yeah, you got to pull the mask off him, right? Classic
what?
stuff. The old rubber mask, a Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo?
It's the
Yeah.
the
Okay.
fucking wizard.
Bad guy.
The wizard's dressed as a ghost, and he's chasing all the fucking guards out of here. And he would have gotten away with it too.
For this fucking dozer.
Yeah.
Oh, Detective Doge strikes again. He's cracked this case.
Oh,
wide open.
well,
Book 'em. Take 'em away, toys. With that as well, for the duration, as you kind of take the time to scrawl out these various kind of formula and patterns and things like that on the ground around you, to kick off a detect magic spell. See a faint aura around any visible creature or object that bears magic, and learn its school of magic. Now, operative sort of thing here is that it is a faint aura around the creature or object that bears, or object in the area that bears the magic, right? So right now you're kind of standing in a hallway. Reckon you'd have to crack open some of these doors to try and see anything. Nothing in this hallway lights up, but it is a hallway with Mara at the end of it.
Does Mara light up?
Of course, Mara always lights up a room.
hey,
Truly the heart and soul of the fucking empire.
That's right, dude.
All right, boys, you heard
It
him.
can penetrate
kicking
most
down
barriers, so I should be able to like tell if there's a faint glow of magic even behind doors and stuff. Yeah, 1 foot of stone.
Yeah, I
No
guess
block.
I guess when I was reading that, and my initial thought was like that the spell would permeate that far. Not necessarily the vision, like you would see like aim hacks through, but fuck it. I mean, yeah, I'll give you this. Even with if you did some, pop open some doors or something like that, there's I'll just level with you as we're getting close to time. There's like no traps or anything here, right? This has been an explored place. So as far as like opening doors and things, like the guards come in and out of here. And I didn't mention this before, but Galileo probably would have told you in the history that like adventurers have come through here before at various points, like way back in its history, post destruction, before its present state, right? So people have been through here. Like there's no, unfortunately no anvils waiting in the ceiling to drop when somebody opens a door. But there is something on your detect magic that you notice on this floor, in particular, and that is the various statues in the rooms around you, these various sort of library rooms. They don't hum with like a clean, consistent glow of a magical item as you would know and recognize from other times you've done this. There's like a disruption to them. There's sort of some hint of magic that is no longer effective, but still detectable by this spell. Would be kind of what you get off of those. Now let me just check one thing here. Give me one moment.
Roll initiative.
Yeah, exactly. Soon he said he wanted to get out of here at 11:30. Don't worry, I'll make this quick.
More fireballs
Is
coming
there
up.
enough of an
Right here
aura
to the
for
hallway.
me? Is there enough of an aura for me to be able to tell like what school of magic it is or anything?
Yeah, because it would give you that, and I forget what the school is off the top of my head, but it'd be the kind of thing that you would animate things with.
Conjuration.
Yeah, so I don't think conjuration, but I can't remember off the top. But it's that vibe of magic that these things had, but in a fractured sort of way presently. Nothing really pings above or below you. Some of like Galileo, if you look below you, again, if this is a sphere, it's impacting the floors above and below. Some of Galileo's like personal effects and stuff like that. Nothing jarring or out of the ordinary, like normal wizard shit. And above you don't necessarily detect anything either.
Looks like we got to break it open.
These statues, gang, used to be some sort of, I don't know, maybe defense mechanism or something to that effect. They don't appear to be functional at this point. I'm not detecting anything else here.
Yeah, and since I saw one of you guys pace around it, it wouldn't take too much with that hint from Zuni that of where the magic kind of aura stands. You're able to turn over at some point, exploring these things, runes that have been not quite destroyed or defaced, but essentially disabled. Right, runes that were carved into these things, but have at some point in the past been, disabled is the best way to describe it. Transmutation is what the magic is, and
Transmutation was like turning rocks into gold or something like that.
well,
Lead into gold.
try turning rocks into golems, and that would be kind of where you're going here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it does sort of transmute them, I guess, into a moving sort of living thing, or quasi-living. But I guess that's what it is sigils of transmutation magic. So that you guys can have for free, no rolls necessary. But yeah, nothing. Yep, go ahead.
Once Zuni tells us that, I ask, should we dispel the magic on these things, or is it not worth the effort?
I think they've been. I mean, there's a hint of magic on them still, but it doesn't seem to be functional. I think we're probably good. I don't necessarily want to spend spell slots.
Yeah, I
feel
would say.
good.
Yeah, with what you turn up in your detect magic and like looking at these sigils and things like that, and your kind of combined arcana capabilities, you would recognize that, like, yeah, this isn't necessarily a threat. And to Zuni's point, it's like probably not worth burning, actual power on.
Famous last word.
They lower their wands and shoot fireballs.
That's right.
Oh
Let's
Jesus.
see.
Alrighty, so let me just.
There's more, or do we gotta cut?
I was gonna do exactly that for you. Give me one.
Fireball.
Daddy got deletes us again.
Oh.
There we go. So just to speed us through a little bit, and here in the bright light of day, you guys make your way up the stairs again into sort of the collapsed. Hang on, actually, stop. Well, I mean, whatever. It doesn't super matter if you guys see it, but essentially, you can't go through that rubble. So, like, where Muberto is inaccessible. You would find here the guards. You would have heard them working below when you were on the floor below, just like kind of working away on these stones, trying to slowly uncover this. There's a significant amount of rubble here, collapsed in these hallways and blocking off this hallway to the south. But they are kind of working their way best they can. Wuberto heave. But they have, this floor sort of collapsed entirely, and the rubble is choking the floor of the tower from floor to ceiling. The soldiers are sort of in the process of clearing them out, and that is sort of who we'll pick up with next time on this one as we look to wrap up here. We'll kind of talk to the soldiers when we get back, and wrap up our daytime investigation of the tower. Unless there's anything else you guys want to sniff around, of course. But perhaps we come back for a nighttime visit and see what's what.
Is there a floor above this one?
There is.
It's inaccessible though because of the collapsed.
Right. So you can still get to the fourth floor through the stairs. Should you want to go up there. But that is where the planar beacon is, and they've got like a crane set up and stuff like that. The area that's inaccessible is mainly on this floor. The area sort of on the fourth floor above you is half collapsed, let alone inaccessible. It's mostly gone. The fourth floor is largely what's in front of you.
Mm-hmm. All this collapsed rubble.
Exactly that. Yeah. And there's a faster way. Now you guys can see our little town.
There's a ladder.
Hey.
Oh!
And the scaffolding.
There you go. Yep, there's the scaffolding and all that stuff. The crane on top, right? And so yeah, you guys now you can actually have that little bit of a visual there. But yeah, we'll find out what's going on with these guards, who obviously our friend Gallio has had a lot to say about. We will maybe poke up on the 4th floor as he gets ready to jump off the crane, jumping smooth off, taking the express down after a hard day of work. But we'll wrap it up there, and we'll pick it up there next time.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you, Dad. Guys, sorry, guys. I was late.
No
Oh, you're fine,
problem.
dude.
No, you're good,
I
dude.
was late too.
It happens, and it's a good module to play easy peasy because it is, like I said, shorter, a little bit lighter. Whenever we wrap this module, I've already promised you guys we'll have our level up. So just look over stuff for that, just so you know, kind of what you want to do and what you want to think about between here and there. We'll link back up. So 17th would be 2 weeks from today. Onion, I know you said you had something. Was it the 17th and you could only play the 24th? Or do I have that backwards?
Yeah, we're out of town on the 17th, but I'm back on the 24th.
Okay. We can definitely plan for the 24th if that works for everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah,
About the-
tentatively. September, I know, is a disaster for us, but
Mhm.
if we can get one in before then, that'd be good.
Perfect. We will plan on that. Ideally, if we can get, this is not a dig, Zuni, don't take it that way. If we can get our full session in, like I say, I expect we'll probably wrap up this little tower adventure here. As long as we can get like the full time in. So let's just tentatively plan for the 24th. I'll throw an invite together, an event together, and we'll talk then. Well, we'll talk before that, but we'll play then.
Hell yeah.
Is there what's going on the 10th?
I always just typically schedule at least 2 weeks. Although honestly, I guess I could do the 10th if you guys. I mean, well, I think I could.
I don't have anything planned for the 10th.
Would you guys want to do another one right after?
I might be tentative for that. I have to figure out if I have plans for that Sunday, but I'll have a sense tomorrow or Tuesday.
Anybody else have anything that would preclude them from the 10th?
Nope, because we actually care, Onion.
So,
Yeah, it's also
Yeah.
playing RuneScape.
No.
Dirty dog. Cool. Let's plan for next week then, if that's workable for everybody. I don't think I've got anything that would stop me. So, Onion, let us know, like you say, if you could, the next day or two, just so we can plan accordingly. But 10th, and failing the 10th, we'll do the 24th.
That's good.
Fantastic. Good. All right. Well, thank you, gang. Appreciate it as always, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad Goth.
Thank you, Dad Goth.
No problem. Thank you guys for playing. Catch you later.
GN.